actually... Oh my, the Spaniards still have some to offer. I am going to send a few of you... Well, basically, let's just do this. Giron is not a wealthy node. It has one natural harbour, and that's your lot. So I'm going to send only 39, and even 39 is probably overkill, and leave the rest of you to do Beijing, because it's still worth loads of dosh. United. There's a small question of Australia. Australia is not done at all. It is another particularly weak node, but I guess that can be taken over by the other ships that are about to be made. Now even more boats. Making sailors each month is tricky business, isn't it? I am probably going to have to invest in dry docks just to bump up the amount of sailors I have, because it ain't high, so I gotta focus on where they deliver the most. There we go. Costs a lot, but let's see if that brings us much further than 110,000. Now, as for you folks, now I have a whole load of you. Where in Europe still needs to be done? Well, the North Sea blows, but it still has a fair few coastal centres of trade in that. So let's head over to North Sea. The White Sea is done, Novgorod's done, Baltic Sea's done, Lübeck is done. Oh, nobody's on Bordeaux, let's fix that. We've come down in the world in Sevilla because our privateering fleet got knackered, so let's sort that. We're still on top when it comes to Genoa and Tunis and all of these, but not Crimea, so we're off to Crimea. And we do Aleppo, right? Oh God, do we do Aleppo? I can tell at a glance because I see it there. That means that we hold the most. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have over 50%, which is what I set the goal here as, but I'm not quite that anal. Now, let's make sure that even Ragusa is not spared our might. Africans. Safi is being done, but by me? Oh. No. No, not at all. They're not even number one. Morocco's number one. Safi's not that strong. Hopefully 40 of our boats will take care of it. Now I'm certainly not doing the Ivory Coast justice, so let's send some over there. And I don't even touch on the Cape of Good Hope. Can I reach it though? Looks like I can. I would hope so, because I'm right here. It's not far. Good. Very good. Zanzibar I'm a disgrace in. I need more ships, but I always need more ships. I'm currently in the process of building another... over 1,000 of them, actually. Plenty are being done here. Oh, so many are being done here. Great. Then it's just a case of sit back and have those boats flow in. And we'll see what that does for our spoils of war at the turn of the month. It might take them a while to get to their locations, but the dividends. Do you think they'll change how rebels work in EU4? Is that something for EU5 in the future? I doubt that rebels would fundamentally be changed in EU4. That's just my 2 cents though, because hey, I don't call the shots. Ottomans sowing discontent as part of their golden age. I wonder if they're a little bitter about the way things have turned out in life. So much privateering. So much privateering, Dosh. Still our single biggest contributor to the war chest. Gotta say, I'm really liking the encouraged development around here. We made some real headways in Scarborough and York. And we've almost completely Catholicized Japan. Feels great. I don't need this, but let's take it anyway. Public punishment. Klimpy, you were an amazing admiral, perhaps even the best, but even the best must die. Once those dry docks are done, I really want to see the effect that has on our naval numbers. 111213. Also, Hadramhi in Kerima. Oh, these guys again? Can't they just go away? Separatism, intolerance. Oh, that's right. Ugh. Just ugh. Industrial urbanization. The growing economy of Hinenguru, that well-known province. That very well-known province. No, really, where is that? Here we go. Oh, well, it's actually a pretty good province, right? I developed this early when I was so short on land to call my own and call good. The growing economy is attracting people. The entire Grand Pirate Confederacy to the province. A steady trickle of people are leaving the countryside to seek out new work opportunities and new life. Base tax, base production, construction and development costs go down. Oh, but they've moved away from Pariaman. You know, I'd actually rather have the development in Pariaman because that's in... Yeah. Oh well, come one, come all. Better to have it when it's in one of these. Okay, something else I'm considering is this. Total goods produced and production efficiency in places that have the coal. So this is 3.23. Suddenly it's 4.07. Trade company investments can be pretty good when it comes to the coal, and I want to be the coalionaire. So here as well, that's just pretty awesome for us. Isn't there a touch more coal around here? Of course there is. Do I own all of these provinces? Of course I don't, sadly. But I still like the idea of getting more of that coal. 7.13, 9.30. These investments are real nice. But what's also nice is having enough sailors to get all my jobs done. Well, we'll know in about 4 months. Major says, "Hey Jake, did I turn out to be a good admiral? I joined late, didn't see any battles." Well, you are an admiral, perhaps not our best, but you're there, and we kind of needed admirals when the Spanish declared war on us. Worked out in the end, though. And now they're enjoying loads of Kielwin separatists. Sadly, they're beating them down. Show the inflation, that's fine, because we pay this off thanks to glorious economic ideas. Right. Separation of powers. We're actually taking that now, and I am going to take... I wonder what you think I'm going to take when it comes to next ideas. You might say plutocracy is Jake's favourite idea group. Of course you'll take that, and when you have goods produced plus 10, how can I say no? You might say take a military idea because military sucks, but I don't really fight on the land, so no. None of these diplos really appeal to me except maybe some spy defense. But no, what I'm going for is innovative because it has optimism. Ta-da. Means I need yet more admin, but we're ploughing into admin. What will the next campaign be? Oh, I think I got cut off earlier when I was trying to talk about the next campaign. The next campaign is up for vote right now. And it's a three-way between making the big blue block as Montenegro, whose core is gone now. So that's recreating the USSR borders with with satellite states and all. Or it's going for the Avaria. Which one's Avaria? I think it's you. The Avarian achievement where you take over all of Hungary as this OPM and achieve Empire rank, or Roman Empire, where we start as Rome and form the Roman Empire. All of them quite blobby campaigns, but it would be nice to just go down and knuckle down for some pretty good blobbing after doing this anti-blob campaign where we've been shunted off to only the islands, and all of them seem quite ball-bustingly difficult. Tell people where and how they can vote. I don't wanna. It's being voted on over on the Patreon, so if you head on over there and support the chat. No, I can't do that. It hurts too much. I hate the shilling. Do what you want to do. I may have gone full time, but if that means having to do things that I don't want to do just to make it work, then what was even the point? That's my take on it. I'm disappointed in Zanzibar. I'm still not getting enough pirating done there. But that's what we have all these ships for. Are we allowed to shill for you, monk? I'll ease my conscience at least, but we already have Worm. I just want some ships over here that can help out with Zanzibar. 12 times 2 probably won't be enough. Let's bring all of these guys over. If shilling's too much, you can always just beg for pizza deliveries. There's that. Of course, I could also literally dance for money, which is a scary prospect. Okay, you folks, that will definitely secure Zanzibar for us. It's a very heavily powerful node, but the existence of our pirates will surely balance that out. And with that, just about everything is done. I think we dominate everywhere in Europe. Let's check that. White Sea, yes. Novgorod, yes. Italy dishonoring alliances, of course. The Baltic Sea, the Lübeck, the North Sea, the English Channel. I did the White Sea. I'm sure I did the White Sea, because it's a joke. 18 ships doing all of that. Champagne, yes. Seville, barely yes. Sure. Genoa, yes. Let's count Tunis as Europe and say yes. Same with Safi. Venice, Ragusa, Alexandria, Aleppo, Constantinople, and Crimea. European domination. Moving along. Ivory Coast, no. I need to dedicate a few more boats to the Ivory Coast, but that should be no problem. I mean, seriously, with those kind of numbers, 7 more will do it. Were you streaming full-time in the past? Or you had some other regular job before Paradox? Yeah, I mean, I've held jobs since I was a kid. Why do you think I'm so tough on the kids in Frostpunk? This is the first time that I've entered the wonderful world of unemployment since I was like 14 years old. But I never streamed full-time, right? I always had a job I had to do. Alright, Cape of Good Hope, absolutely. Zanzibar, we just sent people to sort out. Gulf of Aden, ain't touched yet. Need to get on that. Hormuz and Basra. So this area I need to work on. Same with Australia and maybe some of the Indians. But let's just take it piece by piece. Europe, ticked off, done entirely. Africa, well, once you've arrived in Spanish Guinea, it takes a bit for them to get there, but when they do get there, when they eventually get there, they should have that done. Are you going to co-op with another full-time streamer? No, I do not fancy co-oping. I mean, I say that, but usually it's just me being hard-headed. Let's get you back here and upgraded, because money is just a number right now. I mean, I co-op with Lucky and Cala and even Aristo. I just don't make much of a thing of it, because a big part is doing what I want to do with the streams. We shall see, is what I'm saying. Where do you live now? Still Stockholm. I have no intention of moving back to Scotland. And that's not some massive dig at Scotland, it's just not on the plans right now, thanks to political situation in the UK. We're just on a knife edge when it comes to positive sailors. All those docks gave us another 10,000 sailor maximum, but it feels like my... yeah, I suppose it did boost the amount of those guys I get per month. Well, I really need sailors, so let's build more docks. I hope financially we're still okay. Yeah, despite being hilariously over force limit. We're okay on the costs for our boats. I haven't checked, but do any of these actually give me sailors? Defensiveness, trade power, which I don't want. Trade power works against me. Development cost and land. Taxi stuff. No. Whoa, hang on. Local sailors modifier plus 50%. This place has 229 sailors. Just imagine how many it would give me if I had this. Barely any more, but it applies to the whole area. So it might actually be worth doing around here. So look at this. Currently you gain 1650. Currently you gain 1661. Well, you know, I am pretty desperate for sailors these days. Willing to spend this kind of dosh. Boy, I wish there was a macro builder for this, he thinks. Just doing it in places that have particularly good development. Oh, yes. And a bit more oh yes. Well, some places more developed than others. Are any more of these particularly good as areas go? Well, there's these guys, but it's not such a big area now, is it? And then there's this, but the development isn't so good. Not so good at all. Plus, coastal is needed. So just like that, we've managed to up our number of sailors we get each month by quite a bit, but there are a whole lot more boats to come, so I worry a bit about it. Out of curiosity, will Swedish citizenship require you to renounce British citizenship? No, you can have as many multi-citizenships as you want with them. Oh, good grief. I have way too many heavies over here. And this army that doesn't really need to be here. And a lot of transports that are surplus to requirement. I don't really care about Hormuz. It can be occupied and it's no big deal to me either way. So these heavies are just kind of wasting space. I should consider where I'm going to need them down the line. I already have heavies here, but if I get attacked again, there are lots of them. So I want to send another 10 of them there, and 20 to deal with the inevitable Chinese problem. And with that, there's just one more. With this disgusting exception, that's a fully anglicized Japan. You're allied with Ming, which makes things politically difficult, Manchu, because I'm not here. I don't want to fight big wars just to get my scrapes there. Or scraps, rather. Yeah. Oh, did we get Ivory Coast? Of course we got Ivory Coast. And we got the Cape of Good Hope. And we got Zanzibar. Alright. Next up, Aden. Because we got you. Aden, Hormuz, and Basra. Aden, Hormuz, and Basra. Got a lot of ships over here, but I need them probably for East Asian things. Let's just do another all-you-can-eat of ships here. That didn't work out at all. All of you, except not you, not you, not you. Don't tell me I'm building boat. No, of course I'm not. And not you. Over here, please. Oh, now I remember. We managed to get La de Cuesta over here. Are there any Spaniards watching? Wouldn't mind naming us after you if there is. Then again, Spaniards watching this channel, that would be a hoot. Love the fact that they retain the level that they were at when I got them. So we even have old galleons and early cattocks. Thank you for the whiskey videos, says Matsu. Yeah, I love making the whiskey videos, so it's really my pleasure. It's just nice to be freed up to do that. I feel that there is a demand for more. Wow, we chewed through those many light ships we made here. And yet there are still so many to come. Well, that sounds like we could have a whole lot more of them, frankly. Why contain it? We can have all the light ships we could ever dream of here. Let's just go way over that force limit. Force limit is normally just a number, and this is a normal situation. Oh, I need money, right? Okay, well, whatever. You watch any TV shows? No, I don't watch TV. Right, we got you. I'm thinking, let's try and split you up. 40 of you going to privateer Basra, because Basra's not that strong. Then there's Hormuz, which has a bit of power but is very small. So again, 40 should be able to handle that. How about the Americas? Hang on, I never sent anybody to Aden, did I? Aden's powerful. Aden needs a lot of boats. And I'm not giving it a lot of boats. Yeah, I mean, I could give it a lot of boats. Got all these boats to worry about. Okay, with that in mind, let's start thinking about Asia. Didn't I send someone to Jiren? I could have sworn I did, but maybe I completely forgot. I do forget a lot of things. I thought I'd split off, like, one of you to Jiren. Oh, you are privateering Jiren. But you're not. But you are, but you're not. Okay. I mean, I'm right next to Jiren. I should be able to hit it up, no problem. Let's get you over here first, see what's going on. Let's keep the guy we have. Oh, and, well, while you're on your way to Jiren, I mean, it's practically en route. Why don't we have you deal with the Chinese? The Chinese problem. Oh, I guess I already did them. Nice logo, says Don Panthera. Well, thank you. Timmy, aka Azu, aka the real Timor, and the very many number of names he goes by. An artist for Paradox, formerly EU4 artist, actually. Made it for me. It's very nice. Okay, now they're privateering Jiren, and naturally, Jiren is now ours. I don't mind the time this is taking. This is all build up for something anyway. So this is all done. Beijing, Hangzhou, Canton, Siam. Malacca's a tough nut to crack, but we sent just enough boats to get it done. Oh heavens, yes, the Moluccas. Australia, not so much. But I reckon just this bunch of boats, which is actually probably overkill already, this bunch of boats should be able to do Australia alone. Ah, welcome A-Twix. Hope all is going well for you. Onwards. I'd be very surprised if this is not enough to manage Australia. Not that many provinces, they're not that well developed. Hang on, isn't there meant to be? Okay, there's the coal, and this is the gold. Where's the gold? And since I don't, you might think, why would you privateer Australia? You own most of it. Well, sure, but I think I could make a lot more money in this campaign if I focused my trade. Like, if I used my boats to get all this trade over to Malacca and then unified it and just traded there normally, I'd make a lot more money But that's not what the campaign is about, even in the slightest. This campaign is about recklessly privateering everything we can in the world. That's fine. Atwix is saying all of his viewers are civilized. Great. One of the best traits you can have in Death Road to Canada, which I think we'll have once we're done with this. So, continuing East Asia, Siam's done, Bengal is done, Coromandel is looking a little less done, but that's something that can be solved with just a few more boats, because it was right on the cusp. We'll get them together and finish it off. God, it's good having money. Imagine being poor when you could have pirate's life. That should solve Coromandel. Gujarat is also a little lacking. Oh, wow, I overkilled Hormuz. Seriously overkilled Hormuz. Who's doing Hormuz? You are, huh? Well... Wait, how is Hormuz that distraught? Well, it matters not. 10 extra should take care of Gujarat. And I can have you folks get back to Hormuz. Basra is crushed. So Aden is the only one that remains, huh? Well then. Unless I have completely forgotten of a trade node, except for the New World ones, we'll get to those. Then this is the final countdown for you. Get everybody over to this awesome province of Pasai. It's no coal province, but hey. The spice trade's still going really well, that's excellent. I guess we prevented any one European from getting too many spicy provinces. Jake, what do you think of the naval rework in the next patch? I mean, I'm not sure what insightful comments you're looking for it. Just because I'm no longer with Paradox, I'm not going to be breaking truce, so to speak. Okay, people understand that we're no longer a threat. We're just single-handedly privateering everything in the world, and 427 ducats a month just from spoils of war. Lovely. White Sea, yes, we solved the White Sea problem, and we dominate the paltry few ducats that there are to have there. Oceans beyond privateering. Privateers should look for money from our enemies, not for us. Get out of my face. Meanwhile, I wanted most of these, and I still do want most of these. Artillery range is pretty awesome. Yeah. Yoink. Once the boats get over there, that'll take care of it. Okay, sweet. Then the only thing to care about now is the New World, where I've done the most limited amount of privateering. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes here, and I'm really not making much headway on any of them. So this is going to call for maybe another 100 or so boats, and maybe a bit more. There are a lot of provinces there, but we just need them made, and then we head over, and Bob is your uncle. But the campaign doesn't end there. Why would it not end there? What does he still have planned? All good questions that I'm asking myself. The price of these ships just keeps going up and up. It actually scales with the amount over your force limit you're getting. Naive enthusiast doesn't matter because everyone hates me anyway. And there we go, anglicized Japan. Oh, anglicized Gotland, even though it's extremely expensive. Because what is even cost? You sent ships to Zanzibar instead of Aden, I think. I don't think so, but you could very much be right, because I'm not seeing anything going on in Zanzibar, and I'm seeing something resembling overkill in Zanzibar. I feel like I just got their names mixed up again. Give it another month. That's more like it. That's a whole lot more like it. So Eurasia is done. Pirates should be the leftmost of all of the coastal trade nodes. Yeah, I remember game terminology. Poor Australia. I mean, it's just as well we pirate, otherwise other people would get all this money. We can't be having that. Will rimming be a regular thing from now on, says HD Cyclone? Quite likely. Depends how much the addiction digs into me. But I know me pretty well, and it's quite a lot. Alright, just need those boats in the New World and it's mission accomplished. Oh, I left some behind. How convenient. We could intervene against Spain. Wait, we would intervene on Spain's side over my dead body. The Spaniards have done so much wrong to us. I think I'd sooner die than help them out. Alright, that's a lot of boats. How many do we actually need? How much power is there in each node? Lubiki is quite a lot of power overall. So is Ocharut. There's a lot of power going on around here. 15% is 0 power, okay. Could be quite a bit then. We'll send out our pirates to each of them and just feel them out. So yes, this is a part of a problem of our enemies in the New World having way too much strength. Remember when they were a joke and way too weak? Well, now they're pretty big and strong. They're grown up, fed, breakfasted, and inherently a lot stronger, just like the teacher in Dungeon Keeper used to warn me about when I took my time in campaigns. Speaking of Dungeon Keeper, so I don't really want to go into the stuff about the survey just yet. I'm kind of saving that up for a nice big deep dive into it because I would enjoy that, so maybe you would too. But one thing that came up were people wanting to see more varieties of games. Like, it seems that when Jake starts a new campaign and that's all you're going to see all month. And yeah, that's fair. Since I have the time now to actually indulge in streams beyond simply what I can do in evenings and weekends, I would like to have more campaigns going on at once. And the first thing I thought of when I thought of that was, of course, Dungeon Keeper. I would love to sink my teeth back into Dungeon Keeper. I've played it before, but that was like 2014. And I didn't do the deeper dungeons. I want to sort both of those out. And now that my eyes have opened, and I now know that there's a soundtrack for Dungeon Keeper that I never knew of as a kid, but it was there, clear as day. We should be able to sink our teeth into it. Dungeon Keeper was the best punishment, says Sid. Yeah, well, this time it won't be punishment or anything even disguised as it. It's just straight up, let's run the Dungeon Keeper campaigns, including good old deeper dungeons. Okay, looks like the pirates are arriving in the New World. If you do Dungeon Keeper, Jake, I'd like you to include the sequel too. Sequel 2. That's kind of funny in a way. Alright, we got the North Americas. That was quite simple. South, so that just leaves AI. I'm pretty sure you could take AI on your own. And with that, every single coastal trade node has pirate majority. We are crippling the world's, well, the world's everything, really. I'm not done, though. I'm not satisfied with that as victory. Oh god, they're not satisfied with my new coins, either. I need that admin, you know. I'm not satisfied with paying 193 ducats per month for being over the limit on my navy, either. None of this is particularly good for me, but I'll take morale of navies, man. Can you show the trade overview? Yeah, I sure can. I want those guys to arrive first, though, so I can be completely sure that I sent enough. What an embarrassment it would be if I actually missed out. Okay, there we go. That is sorted. So we can look at the trade overview from here, which is where we go look at all that. It should be pirates in everywhere other than inland. So Guyenne is inland, Champagne is inland, Zambezi? Okay, inland. The Deccan is also inland. Hey, I remember when we switched that out. Inland. Siberia's very inland. Yemen, Burma, inland. The Doab. Hopefully inland. There it is. Lahore, Katsina, and Ethiopia. Samarkand, Persia, Astrakhan, Kiev. Okay, no, Kiev is inland. Whew. Got a little bit of a scare there. Timbuktu, Krakow, Saxony, Rhineland. The rest of them, it's pirate buffet. And that feels pretty good. The value of them doesn't really change, but my trade power comes along and nicks a lot of that. We get good goods produced. Yemen is inland, question mark. Yemen, not Yemen. You scared me there, Sid. Scared me big time. We only make 16 ducats from trade. Hardly any. Most of it over in Malacca. Okay. What else was there to overview? Of course, there's the ledger. If we look at trade nodes. I'm not even sure if this will really tell us much. What does this even tell us? Not a whole lot. Trade goods, also not a lot to hear, other than coal being worth $1. I'd like it if there were more different effects for goods. Aside from maybe the spice market crashes, everything else is, you know, destined to happen. I'd like some more changes there. And veneering, well, it almost never happens, but we got it. Strategic good. I am producer of coal, gems, glass, incense, tropical wood, sugar, and spices, as well as copper and fish. But I sure don't get the trading bonus for them. Don't I? I don't get trading in coal? Yeah, I guess not. Well, we forwent trading in favor of privateering everything. Goods locations don't tell us anything. And I don't think this will tell us much either. What a shame. Are you going to take another crack at hitting the gold cap now? Well, let's see. We'd have about 80 years to do it. And if I severely cut back on my expenses, I mean, I have a lot of bloat when it comes to my boats. I could make this into like a 500 ducat surplus. Yeah, that wouldn't be enough because we would need to hit 1 million. So that's like 5,000, 50,000. So I'd need like 200 years of that. So I'd need to crank it up. Although I could always take loads of loans. But no, that's not what I'm going for. You only get 450 gold from your pirates? You mean only? That's pretty good for privateering. Pirates take a cut for themselves. I can't remember how much it is. 40% maybe? Okay, but I'm not satisfied with this. There's one thing that I still want to do with this campaign, and I'm probably going to regret making this a goal, but I would like to blockade the world, Zawarudo. Or at least as much as is feasible. But since we have reduced attrition for our boats now, I should be able to reach everywhere as long as it's not on the ocean tile. The question is, what's the best way to go about doing that? Because everybody I fight brings in a whole load of heavies to cause a bunch of problems for me. And I'm not sure how cool I am with that. Not very, I'd say. If you started trading instead, you'd get $1. This is true, but this campaign is not about doing the wisest thing for most money. It's about doing the filthiest thing for most money. It's good, but I'd expect more, says Ruben. Well, fair dues. Not sure I can afford more expensive ships at this point. I think I'll just take the... oh, I can't take the tech either. Well, abandon any such ideas. Let's keep our mill tech up to date and consider the best way to go about this. So what I need to do is attack nations one by one, that I can isolate them, have them fully blockaded, and then move on to the next without causing too much in the way of cascading alliances. Because cascading alliances will burn me pretty hard. It would be something like grabbing Italy when Italy has no friends that would help them out. France is actually pretty good for me because they are fairly isolated. They don't have a lot elsewhere in the world. Okay, French tinsel. Not my biggest concern. Italy are fairly isolated here themselves. And then there are the Iberians. God, I hate Iberians. And Spain have sadly paid off their debt. It will take a lot of boats to blockade the world, but I'm constantly making them, and light ships are pretty good at blockading. And I'm happy to let go of my privateer everything mantra to make this come together. I mean, I could start with the likes of Denmark and just put them under, and then move along. The trouble is, though, the big heavy hitters have lots of ships. Like, tons of ships. And there's the Mamluks that have 77 of them, which is mad numbers. Oh yeah, they have the second biggest navy worth caring about. Then there's Burgundy, Morocco, da-da-da. And the problem are those that have their ships everywhere. So it might even be worth just taking out Spain first, because they're the most global empire in the game. They're goddamn everywhere. It means I would have to occupy this land. Or it might be good if I attack you, then I attack your colonial overlord. Because I can defeat you and take this off of you. Because I hate this land, it's just going to cause me problems for these two provinces. Or I just say goodbye to those two provinces. Actually, come on, I don't really care about these provinces. Why don't I just get rid of them? Yeah, why even care about them? Let's just do that. Their occupation is meaningless to me. Create a state out of them. Also a possibility, isn't it? I can make a wee state and just keep them on Scootage. Is there any other place that I care about like that? These provinces are a bit of a pain. Cannot do this in overseas provinces. I can just get rid of them, right? They're nice provinces. Hell, they're great provinces. But they're just going to cause agony when these guys attack me. Unfortunately, returning them costs. And Majapahit exists. No, it doesn't exist. Cool. I could just release Majapahit. As long as I only get those 3 provinces, I don't really care. And I'm 4 out of 5. Majapahit, get these 3, and I'll just put them on Scootage and never worry about this again, because I really don't care about it at this point. Well, that saves me some problems. I get a war against the world with them immediately. Cool. And Scootage. That makes that all a whole lot easier. Yeah, these 2 remain a problem. Do I want to make a state out of them? Can I actually sell them to you, or does it not work that way? No. No, they're at war for 1. At the same point, I really don't want to. Oh well, damned if you do and damned if you don't. Welcome to Pirate Party Zone. A monarchy of local dynasty? Nah, they can be a pirate republic. As long as they keep things together. Keep it green. Green's a good colour. That's a slightly better green colour. Boy, I'd love to add more an elephant. I like elephants. Good enough. We don't have a skull and crossbones or anything like that here. disappointed, and this feels a bit like Consolitis, doesn't it? Yeah, sure, why not? There we go, there's your pirate party zone. And let's add you to it. And they, of course, stay on Scootage. So now I don't have things to worry about. I mean, there's a slight exception of you. Can you actually be given to them? You give me some valuable range, but no range that you don't already give me, so there you go. Just take it. Take it from me, Chief. Alright, that was easy. Now I don't have worries about that. Wonderful. Okay, who to take on, how, where, when, why? Ming plus Ottomans are a couple of good ones to take out because they're fairly localized. They're big, but once I take them down once, they should be taken down forever. Wow, these galleots were never upgraded? That's not right. The Ottomans would bring in Malacca and Yemen, whereas Ming is just Ottoman soup from start to finish. It's a shame that we lost Klimpy, but we can have... Oh well, Major wanted to prove himself, right? On you go, Major. I'll need you to take care of those Ottoman, though. You don't need that many. 98 of you should do it just fine. Yes, give me a chance, says Major. Alright, I'll give you a chance. Your chance cube. Could be tricky taking on the Ming. His boats are many. I don't really know where they are either. I'll send my heavies down here. And I'll split you guys up. I will need Guillermo. I never really figured out how to say that. And we're going to take another admiral just in case. We're going to have no less than Jagger himself. Oh my! Jagger, you can deal with the Ming, no problem. This is going to be expensive on the sailors, and I know it. So let's hope we can raid the costs away. Finding the Ming fleet will be a big boon as well. Ming do have a big fleet still, right? Yeah, they've definitely rebuilt it, but where is it? They're at war with Imereti, so the sad fact is that it could be anywhere. Or it could be right here. Anywhere, truly. It's an inland sea. We have an awesome opportunity to just scupper that fleet entirely. And this is your opportunity, Jagger of the 134th Fleet. Where are those other galleys at? Oh, jings, they're galleots. What have you been doing there all your life? Get back. Archipelago frigates or bust. And this is all on Jagger. Just wish I could buy sailors, really. Sid says, I'm used to the girl with the balloons. Yeah, sadly that's not my image, so I figured if I'm going full-time I might as well use something that I can call my own here. Okay, maybe the heavies aren't so needed. We'll bring you back. I'm quite confident this is something galleys can take care of on their own. They are the most effective in the inland seas. That said, if there was somebody with untrained galleys, I'd be having our yoink. Why did I not make much money there? There must have been, probably these rebel guys. Yeah, because it's Russian, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to raid it. That said, Russia aren't very happy with me raiding that coast. Good thing I improve relations with them constantly. Should have thought twice before doing that. Alright, I'm in the position for Ming. I'm in the position for the Ottoman. And I'm thinking it's all about attacking the Ming because that brings in fewer people. It's really just the Ottomans and some lowlife called Ardabil who doesn't even have a port. Blockade ports for victory. Yeah, that's kind of good. War against the world, I won't be able to win. It's going to be like minus everything everywhere. But maybe that's for the better. You're becoming a full-time streamer? I am a full-time streamer. Alright, let's do it. Let's begin our true war against the world. Don't let us down, Major. You are heavily outnumbered. They have a flagship and you do not. 124 against your 322. And since we're here, why don't we invest in the strongest naval engagement plus 20%? So looky here, we have naval engagement of 40. That means 40 of our galleys can fire at the enemy at any given time. But if we improve it by 20%, now 45. 5 more galleys have entered and are attacking the Ottomans but not taking damage themselves. They're only able to attack with 37 width. So we should win on that front. I can't conceive that being a problem. This one we should have already in the bag. We way out morale these guys. Not that morale is what you win the naval battles on. Crumbs. I forgot. They have a huge fleet. So we'll emergency join in this one using another admiral. I mean, it's end game for us. Let's just make all the ones we need. And this is going to be single mothers in your area. Really thought that was a spam message when I got it, but what do I know? Well, single mother knows how to win on the seas. Go for it in your barely functional archipelago frigate. 3 naval battles straight away. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 naval battles. I'm looking at one of them. This is another one. Korean Bay. But those are against their lights, so our lights should win. Another battle of our lights versus their lights. Again, we should win no problem. And then the Sea of Marmara being heavily outgunned here, but we should come out on top. We'll focus on Major because he seems quite invested in how he performs as an individual. Let's also get rid of building ships. And while we're at it, also navies, because it's taking up all the space here. I'm squinting hard and not seeing it. There we go. Navies. It's a bad day to be Ottomans. Alright. Well, the Ming flagship is out of our hair. We won over here, no big deal. Our pirates even came to help out. Korean Bay battle was a no-brainer. Alright, excelente. We'll have you folks get together for a bit. Including our single mother, what? We get you together and see all those great frigates. They are pretty great, but I'm just going to keep them actually. Save us a bit of time and money for the blockading if I have you there and ready to roll. The transports, however, we liquidate into sailors because we are facing a heavy deficit. We're losing 600 sailors a month. So we can only keep going for 100 months. That's assuming we don't raid all the sailors that we need down the line. Gulf of Tonkin. That's going well. And hey! Of all the ships in the Ottoman Navy, none were more highly regarded than the Osman-i-Ivel. And Major was able to sink it. Good riddance. Well, splendiferous work. Tonkin was a Tonkin big victory for us, and we have the Ming fleet, well, stuck there. Got ourselves some heavies, 3-deckers at that, so I don't mind holding on to them. I'm going to send them back over here. I don't know why my 3-deckers are with my galleys, which need to be upgraded. What I'm kind of happy to do at this point is pool the frigates that are kind of surplus to requirement. So I'm actually going to pull them over to Okinawa and have them help out with the mass blockading, because light ships are the best at blockading. Now finally, show the Maritime Museum, says Danby. Here it is. This is the Maritime Museum. It has flagships from the Danish, the Dutch, the Japanese, the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the discount Chinese, the other discount Chinese, the other discount Chinese, some token Japanese, Brunei, yet another discount Chinese, and some kind of substitute Spaniard. Okay. Can you upgrade those? I can, but I want to keep them. It's a museum after all. We want to see how people who don't know how to fight keep their ships. There we go. That was pretty good. We managed to take care of most of the Ottoman heavies. Looks like I stole some, and they're 3-decker. No, that's 1 2-deckers. There's a 3-decker there, but I'm just going to liquidate them into sailors. I'm also going to continue on our way with innovativeness because I want optimism. Otherwise I will have to pay all my war exhaustion away, and I don't want to, because as a wise man once said, who pays? It was me that said that, because I'm pretty wise. This is a battle for you. You know what, I think we'll have you helped out by Single Mother, because they're pretty awesome at what they do. I'd like to scupper that Ming fleet proper, but all in due time. You pirate Alexandria, which is nice because I like the money, but I'm tempted to have you help out with the blockade, but I'm more tempted to have galleys do that. Because galleys fight super well in an inland sea and are fairly cheap, and all those other good reasons to use galleys. And what is it again? No, I want to detach a blockade. Once you get here, of course. Pirates seeking allegiance. A group of pirates recently approached one of our privateers requesting Naxosian support in their efforts to plunder and pillage. Did someone say extra privateer efficiency? Because that directly translates to loads of money united. It's 460 now. Let's take a moment to check that at the turn of the month. $472 becomes, what does it become? 461. Maybe it took an instant effect, because that's kind of weird. I didn't split you in half, did I? No, I didn't. It's not very useful for me to have more than about 50 galleys over here. But this is the beginning of the end for our friend here. Ta, nicely done. Let's raid to celebrate. Liquidate boats, and Single Mother did a good job, so you can go back to resting up. Now I like to think that once I have an area under blockade, that's it. I don't need to worry about it again. But there are two major worries. One is that our enemies build ships on the coastline and then come out for an attack. So I'll need to station heavies across the world, or be confident that they're never going to be able to assemble enough of a fleet to be a problem like that. The other problem is that I declare war on somebody new, or somebody else declares war on me, and then their ships come in and harass my blockades, and that again I just need to sort by having ooh, wow, this costs more ships than I thought. We're not good enough for this blockading lark. Get over there. Yeah, again, I just need to have heavies around. And it's not like I don't have the economy to support them, it's just they cost a dang load of... a dang big load of sailors. Sailors are what I'm thinking of here. Let's get you back a bit. Or rather, I could have you do some blockading of this, but I'd rather use lights because there's a lot to blockade here. Galley triple X, notice Titan. There we go. Please detach sufficient blockade. Shouldn't be any needed here, but I will need them up here. I think blockades slow down their ability to actually build more boats as well. There's a slight chance that they'll come out and attack, even though I have ships sailing around the whole time. God, I want to scupper that fleet so much. All in due time.